Hi there. I want to have a real moment with you. If there's one thing you do for your health this year, let it be this. Quit drinking alcohol. I know this is not the popular narrative. I know this isn't cool. I know it's not what you want to hear. And I know it's not an easy thing to do. But this video isn't here to shame you or make you feel bad about drinking. It's here to educate you, to bring real awareness about the impact alcohol has on our bodies and on our health. This isn't fear-mongering. It's going to be rooted in facts. And yeah, it might feel uncomfortable to hear because part of you might still like it or be attached to the ritual, and that's okay. I was too for a really long time. But without awareness, nothing can change. So let's go. If you're serious about your hormones, your metabolism, your energy, your mental clarity, and your overall health, alcohol has got to go. But if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. You can't, on one end, complain about your perimenopause symptoms, be desperate to feel better, hope that medication or HRT will fix things, and still be drinking like it doesn't matter. When we do that, we're only lying to ourselves. So let's break it down. First and foremost, alcohol doesn't just mess with your hormones, it makes perimenopause and menopause symptoms worse because it disrupts estrogen, triggering hot flashes, mood swings, irritability, and weight gain. It tanks your progesterone, which is your calming, feel-good hormone. Progesterone also helps you sleep, stay grounded, cope with stress, and keeps your cycle regular. So when progesterone tanks, that leads to more anxiety, poor sleep, heavier periods, and or erratic spotting, and way more "why am I so edgy this week" moments. It spikes cortisol, which is your stress hormone, which makes belly fat, cravings, and burnout worse. It also dysregulates your blood sugar, so say hello to energy crashes, mood dips, poor recovery. Now let's deep dive into sleep. Alcohol reduces melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. Even if it feels like a drink helps you relax and unwind, it's actually wrecking your recovery. So if you're spending hundreds of dollars on magnesium or melatonin supplements, but you're still drinking before bed, it's not going to work. Save your money, drop the supplements, and just quit drinking. Here's the other piece no one talks about. Alcohol lowers your HRV, which means your heart rate variability. That's your body's stress resilience meter. When HRV is low, your ability to bounce back from hard days mentally, physically, and emotionally takes a major hit. If you're feeling wired but tired, constantly on edge, or always playing catch up with your energy, this might be why. Let's talk about why alcohol blocks fat loss. And whether women trying to lose weight want to believe this or not, if they're still drinking wine regularly, it is absolutely contributory to weight loss resistance, without question. Yes, even just one glass. Here's why. First of all, let's call it what it is. It's not a food, it's a toxin. Your liver treats alcohol like a poison, because it is. Just like with anything harmful, it drops everything to clear it out first. That means fat burning stops. Hormone balance takes a hit. Your body has to work overtime just to get back to baseline. Now, maybe you're thinking, I only drink on weekends. That's like saying I only smoke on Fridays and Saturdays, so it's fine. Your body doesn't care what day of the week it is. It cares about the load, and alcohol adds to the already heavy load your liver, your gut, your hormones, and your metabolism are trying to manage. We're already exposed to enough toxins in our foods, our environment, and the stress of daily life. And when you add alcohol on top, even just on weekends, you're not giving your body a break. Alcohol pushes your system even further into overload. Let's walk through that. You have a few drinks on Friday and Saturday. Your body is recovering on Sunday. And even if it doesn't feel like it, your body is still going to be sluggish on Monday. By Tuesday, your progress is playing catch up. Wednesday, you might finally be back to normal. But Thursday, the cravings hit from the stress that's been piling up from your week. And Friday, you start the cycle all over again. How is your body supposed to regenerate, make health or weight loss progress in a cycle like this? So it's not about how much you drink. It's about the impact and becoming aware of what it's actually costing you. Alcohol is filled with empty calories. Just one 5-ounce glass of wine is 120 calories, and that equates 30 grams of carbs with zero nutrition, zero satiety, and zero nourishment. So that means 2 glasses, that's 60 grams of carbs that don't fill you up or fuel your body. And here's the wild part. Most women fear carbs. They won't eat a carrot because it's too high in sugar. They avoid potatoes because they believe it'll make them gain weight. They skip the fruit because they've been told it's bad, but won't blink at the idea of drinking the equivalent of a plate of potatoes, carrots, or grapes, with none of the fiber, nutrients, or fullness to show for it. So what's worse is when you pair alcohol with dessert or sip sugary drinks like margaritas. Your liver is juggling both sugar and alcohol. That's the perfect storm for fat storage and weight loss resistance. The other thing is, like I mentioned earlier, it wrecks your sleep. And when you have poor sleep, that also wrecks your hunger hormones. Poor sleep equals more food noise and more cravings the next day. And you won't be hungrier for chicken and broccoli. You're going to crave more junk food. So this makes staying on your plan 10 times harder. It also blunts recovery and muscle building. So if you're spending time in the gym lifting to build lean muscle and support your metabolism, alcohol slows down that progress fast. Now, maybe you're thinking, but what about the health benefits of red wine? This has been misunderstood for years. Yes, red wine contains antioxidants. Yes, it has polyphenols like resveratrol. But here's the truth. To get a therapeutic dose of resveratrol from red wine, you'd have to drink bottles and bottles every single day. And by then, the damage from alcohol would far outweigh any benefit. So the takeaway is, if you enjoy red wine, drink it because you enjoy red wine. Don't drink it because you think it's good for your heart. That story was marketing, not medicine. Like I said, alcohol is a toxin, period. The more concerning data is that it is now classified as a Group 1 carcinogen, the same category as tobacco. It is directly linked to breast, liver, and colon cancers. Colon cancer, by the way, is one of the most devastating and fastest rising cancers in people in their 40s and 50s. And breast cancer, even 1 drink per week has shown to increase your risk. The data isn't fuzzy. It isn't fear-mongering. It isn't sensationalism. It's clear and unequivocal. If your goal is hormone balance, mental clarity, longevity, vitality, or overall health, alcohol has got to go. Now, this is going to feel like a how dare she go there moment. And again, my goal is to help you see that when you focus on what you have control over, therein lies your power. So here goes. If you've ever run for breast cancer research, this might be hard to hear, but it's important. Hear me out. Alcohol is one of the most well-established risk factors for breast cancer, and yet it's still casually served at the post-race brunch, the team celebration, the girls' night out, like it has nothing to do with the very thing we're all fighting to prevent. This isn't about shame or judgment because, first of all, less than half of the population even knows this. And second, it's a hard thing to quit. But once we know better, we can do better, and it becomes a question of choice and alignment. If we're serious about women's health, it can't just be about pink ribbons and awareness campaigns. It also has to include harder conversations. Because what we normalize, what we glorify, has power. And the most powerful thing we can actually do for our health and each other might not be running for a cure. It might be rethinking what we choose to celebrate with in the first place. Let's unpack why quitting feels so hard. Alcohol isn't just a habit. For a lot of people, it's how we connect. If your circle is a group of people who've always bonded over wine nights, weekend cocktails, or dinners where the drinks keep flowing, then deciding to be the one who doesn't drink will feel like you're breaking the rules, like a threat to your sense of belonging. So of course it's hard. You're not just quitting alcohol, you're navigating a shift in identity, in relationships, in how you feel safe with your people. Another reason it's hard to quit is because alcohol feels like it works, at least in the short term. It helps you numb what you don't want to feel, like stress, overwhelm, loneliness, resentment. It gives you this brief exhale at the end of a hard day. That temporary sense of calm when your nervous system is fried. But that relief, it comes at a cost. It doesn't resolve the stress, it buries it deeper. It doesn't improve the resentment in your relationship, it lets it fester. It doesn't help you process trauma, it keeps it locked in your body. It doesn't make loneliness go away, it just makes it feel less heavy for a few hours. And while all that pain stays unresolved, the one thing alcohol does keep doing is pulling you further from the version of you who feels clear, calm, and in control. Again, it's not about shame, it's about awareness. And awareness is the first step to choosing differently. So instead of seeing it as punishment, restriction, or something you're doing to break the rules of your social circles, see it for what it really is. Giving your body the environment it needs, not just to heal, but to thrive. And it's really about redirecting your eyeballs from seeing everything that you're losing as a result of quitting alcohol to putting your eyeballs, your focus, your attention on what you're gaining as a result. Because within just a few weeks of quitting, you might notice better sleep, fewer hot flashes, more stable moods, less bloating, clearer skin, easier fat loss, a sense of clarity you didn't even realize was missing. So no, I'm not saying this is easy, but I am saying it's worth it. Again, I know this is tough. It took me over a year to finally make that decision for myself. Even when I had clear data about how it was impacting my body. It was hard to let it go because of the social constructs, the sense of belonging, the what are people going to think? But I had to ask myself, what do you want most, Kat? I told myself, you're doing the work, you're changing how you eat, how you move, how you take care of your body. Don't let alcohol be the anchor that keeps dragging you back. Like I said, if there's one thing you do for yourself this year, let it be this. And listen, when you work with me, you don't have to quit. I do encourage you to moderate your intake because it'll be a real barrier to you seeing results. But that decision is yours. I don't judge anyone who continues to drink during their health journey because I get it. It's a hard decision to make. I'll support you either way, but my job is to tell you the truth. Not what's trendy, not what's popular, not what's cool, not what's comfortable, the unfiltered facts. Reducing is a good start, but quitting is better.